Yes, I know that. Get out of my way. Thank you. All right. My math lab, you should see all these things. Just click on any one of them. Doesn't matter which one you click on. If you're not registered, you click on one of these here and you're not registered, what should come up, and I just gotta find the right place now. The page that looks something like that. And all you need to do is with the access code that you would have gotten through the bookstore or Amazon or whatever, or through the bookstore, it's just hit that button and it'll take you through a registration page. We got to create a password, all that good stuff. Save that password. Do not lose that password. Because if you take College Tech Math 1B next semester, this code will work for that. It'll transfer over to it. Don't lose the code and don't lose your password. But it should eventually get to some page that has a bunch of blocks that you can enter the password, your registration code into, and you should have full access then. If you're still waiting on access code, got one of two choices. You can either, and I'm not sure what this is for a different class. I forget what class this was for. Algebra, an algebra class. You can either purchase one through a credit card or PayPal, or if you're waiting for financial aid to come through or whatever, or you wait for the bookstore to get you your access code. You can click this here, temporary access, and you get 14 days. Won't get you through the 8 weeks, but it gets you through 2 of them, so you don't fall behind. So it's very important that you get access into Blackboard. I'm sorry, my math lab. Again, just want to emphasize, in anything to do with my math lab, these are the preferred browsers. Safari, or any of the Microsoft stuff, what they're called nowadays, Vista, whatever. I've lost track of what Microsoft calls their browsers nowadays. It does wonky things with them. All right. So get access up. See, a lot of you already have, there's still a few that have not. Let's see. Let's get back to where we were. A learning plan. Now, my math lab, this here site is a real good one for you. Has access to everything, all the things my math lab. You don't want to necessarily go through your learning plan. If you hit on all assignments, and it's going to bring up your assignments. It's going to have your due dates. And if you're past due, it'll basically say past due. That's okay. Your due dates, they're due when they're due, but you are allowed, I do give you a 7-day, with penalties, 7 days to do it past the due date. Every day past is 50% off problems that weren't done prior to the due date. 50 per day. So 15, first day, 1 day late, 15% off. If it's 2 days late, 30% off. 3 days late, 45% off, and so forth. So you basically down to 0. So it shouldn't be doing that. Each homework problem, probably the longest one is going to be the review one with 20 questions. All the other ones are generally 10 questions each. And typically, like one part to it. One shot deal, one part. So, I mean, I've seen some of these guys where you have a problem and there's 12 parts to it, A through Z, A through H. Whoever built this basically kept for the most part single duty. All right. How do I get out of this thing? So even though there may be some weeks that have a fair amount of problems due, sets due, all right, so they're not that long. All right. Well, that's a different class. All right. So the homework is from that section. You know, basically all your assignments out of that one, out of homework. Quizzes and tests, same idea. Basically squares are round circles, green circles are homework, orange squares are quizzes, and green diamonds are exams. You want to see your grade book and how you go and see what your My Math App grade book. And just for your stuff. But here's what I really want to get to is the multimedia library. Because it is blended, a lot of responsibility is going to be on you. Because twice a week for an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes, for 8 weeks is not a lot of time. So as you're doing problems or sections, you know what? Let's just look at chapter 2. All sections, select all, find now. And what you have is a lot of resources. You have lecture videos. And there are lecture videos. So if you have a question on how to do something, it will take you to a video that work example problems. These videos here, let's look at this, like section 2. Look at this guy at 2.1. Yeah, these guys here, object 1 through 4 numbers. Dang it. And here they are again. So these two kind of duplicate each other. 1, 2, 3, equivalent fraction, improper fraction, whole numbers. Equivalent fraction, improper fraction, there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 go with this guy, the next go with that, and so forth. So these two kind of duplicate each other. This one just happens to put them in section content. And here we go, 1 and 2 right there. So something to look at, keep in mind. Again, take some time to read over them. On the e-text, let's go back to here again. Only because it goes more direct. Your textbook, in section 2, reading 2.2. Usually takes a few seconds for this guy to load up. Oh, interesting. Well, if we're reciting problems out of the book, these all have a lot of these icons are active. What is it with this crazy? there's a drop down. It keeps on popping up there with this WebEx, and it just drives me nuts. Okay, so as you're going through the textbook, here's basically links to the video. Here's an example to try. Got too many things up and running. And some more interactive icons. So just looking at the textbook. If you have the hard copy, if you go on the online, the ebook, you get some extra resources. Okay. There's a lot of good stuff in here. You may want to take some time and just explore it. All right, so that's my plan. All right, where's my plan here? So what's going on here? First thing to do. Well, we've done the announcement. We looked at the announcements. I've been doing a lot of communications this way. How this class works. It's always something worth looking at. A lot of it's border plating. If you so care to, you can look at another video produced by another instructor on navigating Blackboard, the syllabus. Not sure what this is. Using MyMathLab. We'll be doing some of that. But what you need to worry about for class is you need to do this guide. Assignment, submit your personal plan for success. This class. Because this class has been set up that until you do that, that's what you're going to get access to. Learning Plan 1, Learning Plan 2. The other learning plans, which there are many, are dependent on how this class works. So on the bottom, towards the bottom, on doing your personal plan for success. And what it's going to be is a document, a Word document, give it a few seconds to open up. Okay, and so it's fully editable. Editable. You can type in it and fill it in honestly, and give it some consideration. Fill it in. It's 2 pages, a page and a half. Okay. And really, for being everything's dependent on the computer. I mean, this one's really more critical than typical. Backup plans for handling obstacles and technology capabilities, stuff like that. So that needs to be done. And save it to some file on your computer or a thumb drive. And then all you need to do is, again, under this third page, hit browse. And then hit somewhere's a submit button. There you go. And just hit submit. If you're doing 2 pages, do it twice. You load as many files as you think you need. And then hit submit and you're fine. I won't hit submit. That's that thing. Activity assignment, and then at the very bottom, okay, this is one of the first things you need to do for assignment wise is to do the review assignment homework. That's one that's about 20 questions. All right. And once that's done, you're basically done with the preview. All right, so let's see. That's how this class works. Syllabus calendar. I'm not going to bore you too with the syllabus, other than the fact that it's there. Looks like every other, it mimics a lot of other syllabuses you've probably seen already. Important thing is we meet Monday, Wednesdays, 5:30 to 6:50. Being a totally web virtual class, I really don't have office hours. Tomorrow or Friday, I'll probably have put out a schedule on my work schedule with the openings that I could be made available to schedule a WebEx type meeting if we want to do it by WebEx. Otherwise, phone me with some times. If I don't get, the answer machine will email me or go through Starfish. Like I said, I'm on 337. What we're going to be doing, competency-wise, there are active links. So if you have any interest in finding out about the academic grievances, boom, there it is. Went away, I think. I don't know. So all the blue things there are active links. Rave. Oh, so grades, multiculturalism assignments. I'm not going to worry about that guy. Grades going to be basically My Math App homework, My Math App quizzes, and the unit exams. And of course, your opening discussion board. I'll talk about entering answers in a bit. Video assignment. Oh yeah. That goes along with the homework. That goes with the that goes with homework. Students' competencies learning this course are broken into 2 parts per week with due dates twice a week. Working on a class every day through weekday. Yeah. Use as a suggestion, but if you plan to work on a class on weekends, mostly be sure that you're working ahead, stay ahead of the due dates. So here's what we got. Today, the 21st. How this class works, and we're going to review chapter 1 and 2 and some My Math Lab entering answers. That's today, 21st. So Wednesday. Due Monday. Plan for success, the review homework, and the video assignment that I'll discuss in a little bit. Email the instructor with questions answered. That's somewhere in the I'll show it to you where that is in a minute. Okay, so that's the 26th, which puts us Monday. Okay, so Monday, the video assignments, like I said, there's going to be some outside pre-work to be more prepared for the class sessions, which are going to be few in between. Okay, so 26th, based on what we're covering, 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3. Again, this was Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday. 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and chapter 3 quiz is due. And the video assignment for number 2, which is to get you ready for Monday, Wednesday. Okay. Not gonna worry about those guys. So it's I'm not a super fan of how they develop on this sort of layout, but it's what's going to be covered, the day of covering, the day what was covered that's due. So Wednesday, Monday, same date. Next week, next day, same date. Next day, same date. Okay. So all these video assignments are basically to prepare for the material being covered on the next class period. And it's one of those pretty much every, oh, nuts. pretty much for every section. And somewhere at the end of week, my first 20, well, November 9th is one exam is due. I think I'm going to give like a full week to work on the exam. A window of 1 week to do the exams. So like here, a lot of problems, but hey, they're, like I said, they're not that, each set isn't that long. Oh, man. Here we go. The activity for email instructor, again, it's in start here. It says email instructor, I'm basically saying, yes, I watched the videos, I read the syllabus, answer these questions for me, and just send me an email via email. An introduction and person plan. All right, activity. Way too hard. Let me set this up. So let's work on MyMathLab. I've already done this one. Bad example. Good one. So as you're doing these here, MyMathLab work, again, we're gonna have a lot of time. And I don't want you just not have a problem and get stuck on it. So let's see, how do we enter a number? Or first of all, read the question. This is a converting units from miles per hour to meters per minute. And of course, simplify your answer, round to the nearest tenth as needed. I mean, 1 decimal place. So, okay, you think you did it right, put in your numbers, so 6.2. Hey, not right. Okay. Try it again. 5.3. Check answer. All right, give you some hints on how to do it. What may have been the error. Don't forget you to use these. Okay, try it again. Okay, so you get three attempts at every problem in the homework. Okay. Quizzes and tests, you only get 1 attempt. So you get 3 attempts. So, and I really don't want to move on without having the right answer. So just say similar question. Basically, it resets that question to try it again. Okay, still can't get it. I need help. I'm not around. Well, up here's question help, and here's some options for it, this problem. A, help me solve it, and basically step you through it. Give you an example, and it will show a different problem, but again, it will show a step-by-step approach to doing it to get to an answer. So again, there's usually some options up here on how to help solve a problem. And these aren't the only ones, neither. Let's go. No, same ones. Okay, same ones. Begin, solve it, view example. Gee, where in the textbook is there? Okay. We'll take the textbook that covers that material. And of course, the textbook is always slow. So just trust me on that one. All right. Oh, nuts. I just closed out of Blackboard. All right. Next, again, we have some time to get up to speed here. So by the end of the day, for Monday, from the, what do you call it? From the start here section, plan for success from start here section, review homework from the bottom of the start here section, and video assignment 1. Where do we find those video assignments? Well, let's see. Video assignments usually go with what's being presented in the next column down. So this video assignment 1 should go with chapter 3. Assignment 2 goes with chapter 4. Assignment 3, chapter 5. So let's go learning plans. And see, what's chapter 3? Oh, well, there is right there. So let's see, learning plan, don't worry about these things. How this class works. That gets us back all the way over to here. Also through that portal. Review. There's a homework assignment. So plan success, video assignment 3.1. Step 3. Oh, here's my video assignment. Video assignment 1. It is a Dropbox type assignment. And it's due on the, I'll change that, Monday the 26th. Okay. And what is it? Well, it's a worksheet that you need to print out and download, open up and download. And it's basically going to have you watch videos. Okay. Now, what videos are to watch? Well, you can either hit the link, active link, or, to be honestly, each of those videos go with the videos in these sections. So this one is convert between percent, decimals, and fractions, 10 minutes. Convert between percent, decimals, and fractions. And guess what? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And watch the following video, taking notes of any missing information. Link will be added to as an announcement and sent as link will be, not really, because it's right there. Also, videos are within Blackboard in the chapter section folders, and that's the preferred location. So let's see. and that's, so look at what she has here, 0.5, 0.25, 0.03. Wow, 0.5, 0.25, 0.003. So basically, what you need to do is, as the videos go along, be doing the problems that she does on the board or on her whiteboard here. 12%, 3%, 4.5%. Well, there's 12%, 3%, 4.5%. Here we go, right down there. So she's going to be doing these problems, and basically it's a watch and copy and create your notes. But this one is in the next section, and then of course there's your homework. 3.2 percent problems. Wow, percent problem. But it's going to be a problem about contractors. A contractor makes a profit of $12,350. Contract $12,350. Yep. So there they are. And I bet this next video is in the next section. An increase, percent decrease. Increase, decrease. And there's a time for it. 4.5, little under 5 minutes. Just under over 9 minutes. Just under 11 minutes. Like I said, this is a blended class. Now, just because we only meet 3 hours a week, a 3-credit class typically meets 6 hours a week. So that extra 3 hours that we're not meeting is put on you to, the class has been pushed out in videos. And these are video homeworks. Dang, damn it. So these video assignments is pushing what would normally be done in class out into your classroom. Okay. And I lost track of things. My chat. Here we go. Okay, the video assignments. Oh, let's see. Math expansion, work, illustration. All right. And then just a calendar set aside. Okay. So these are the dates. And so these are the dates we'll be working to on the calendar here. Let's see, class time learning plans, bands. Okay. You gotta be a little careful with entering numbers. Sometimes these guys get a little wonky. This is more for the quizzes and the test. If it's on homework, you have a couple of attempts at getting it right. With quizzes and tests, you don't. Just say the answer. The book answer was 0.41. And I'm not sure it's this sensitive, but so this would have been correct, but if you put in 0.41, it may mark it wrong. it may mark it wrong. Or, there was something with the unit sign on the outside. And again, you type you do that. You put in the answer the unit also. You know what? It'll be marked wrong. You may have done it right, but you did something that the algorithm didn't like, so it marked it wrong. Don't worry about that. I'm a little wishy-washy on the homework, but in terms of being on top of it. But quizzes and every quiz, every test in my math, I look for errors like that. When I go through and I see, oh, you put 4.1%, and it just wanted 4.1, so I marked it wrong. Well, I'll go in and I'll overwrite it. And I'll give you the credit for it. So don't get on quizzes and tests. If you're a little, oh my gosh, I should have had a V8 type error. I wouldn't worry about it. I'll eventually get to it and fix it. However, if I take more time than makes you feel comfortable, like more than 3 or 4 days, you can always shoot me an email during a class session. Say, hey Bob, can you look at quiz, chapter 5 quiz, number 5. I think I have it right, but it gave me one of those errors. And I'll say, sure, no problem. And I'll make it right. Here we go. Okay. So annoying. All right. That's enough. Enough talking. 6:50. All right. So according to today's schedule, I talk about how this class works. I showed you where the chapter review is. Again, that's in this category towards the bottom. All right, and 20 questions, okay, which is due for completion by Friday. No, not Friday class. I'm sorry, Monday. Not Monday class. Monday midnight. Okay, so even if you don't have it done by class time, because you had some questions on it, okay, we can spend some time on questions, a few minutes at least, and you have until midnight to get it done. And view chapter 1. So let's start chapter 1 a little bit. Oh, time flies when you don't have a lot of it. As you peruse through the textbook or the videos of chapter 1 and 2, you're going to find I'm going to go on an assumption that you have a good base already, a good general basic math understanding. But I do want to go over a couple what I would call landmines that happen a lot. And a lot of the landmines occurs in exponents. I have pretty high confidence if you're in this class that if you know if I have some base to a power, it just means I'm going to take that number and multiply it by itself. So a to the fourth, eight 4 times. A to the third, I'll do a 3 times. A to the fifth, a 5 times. Although trying to do the long way is a source of error itself. And I'm also going to presume that everyone knows where the power buttons are on the calculators. Now, where the interesting things come in is things like this versus that. It's not the same. You can look at it one of two ways. You can either look at it as the exponent being very short-sighted, or it latches on to the closest item. It wants to stick to the nearest whatever. Now in this case, it wants to stick to the parentheses, which means it really doesn't see what's inside it. It just sees the parentheses. So, hey, this guy here says, hey, I'm going to multiply whatever's in the parentheses twice. And the inside just goes along for the ride. And the exponent has no idea. Which means I'm multiplying two negative numbers, and two negatives always makes a positive. So this guy becomes just a positive 4. Now this guy, the next one over, he's only going to see the 2. He's only going to latch on the 2. So the power sees a 2, and throw that negative sign out there. So one says, take the opposite of 2, multiply it by itself twice. The other one says, take the opposite of 2 multiplied by itself twice. Subtle terminology difference, but very important. Because here, that answer is negative. And for some reason, the negative 2's to a power is caused some difficulties, and it's not. It shouldn't. I mean, if you don't have parentheses, okay, the power is only working on the number itself. So I'll have as many 2's as I have an exponent, but I'll only have one negative. Only one negative. As many 2's as that guy says. But with the parentheses, well, I'll have as many negatives as I have power. So it's subtle, but it gets a lot of people. Gets a lot. Okay. And sometimes they do it sneaky. They'll give you, okay, here's y squared. And they'll say evaluate at y equals -2. Now, first thing is, hey, y is -2. Okay, so I guess by putting them together, it's -2 squared. Because that's y, right? Y is -2. But would that be correct? Would that be correct? Let's look at it this way. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Look at it this way. Y squared means y times y, doesn't it? And what's y? Minus 2 times minus 2. Where this guy is minus 4, this guy, two negatives make a positive, is plus 4. Which one's correct? Which one's correct? I know you're all chomping the bits. I know you're all anxious to know the answer. That one's correct. Because yes, in this one, no, yes, y is minus 2, but it's y squared. Y is being squared, and since y is being squared, that negative is also being squared. So that's where another error happens a lot in these exponents. If it's an odd number, it wouldn't make a difference. Those even numbers that get you. So be very careful with exponents. Very careful with exponents, because they'll get you every time. Well, they can get you every time. Fractions. Fractions are another item that get people a lot. Don't know why, but it does. And like any type of number, it's a number. It's a number. And what can I do with numbers? All right, we can add them, we can subtract them, we can multiply them, and we can divide them. Raising to a power is just another way of multiplying. And hopefully, you all remember that each of them basically only works on 2 golden rules. Golden rule for adding and subtracting fractions. Fractions must have a common denominator. That's it. And a common denominator. It could be a mixed number. It could be a improper fraction. It could be proper fraction. Doesn't matter. Just got to have a common denominator. Eighths combined with eighths. Thirds with thirds. Fourths do not combine with fifths. You got to get a common denominator. Multiplying, dividing. I don't need common denominator, but must be a fraction. To be proper or improper. Improper. And in case you're wondering or having questions, a proper just means the numerator is less than the denominator. As a decimal, it'd be less than 1. Improper, numerator is bigger than the denominator. As a decimal, it'd be greater than 1. Right? This is 2 3/5. Right? If you just keep those 2 rules in mind when adding, subtracting, or multiplying, dividing, it's hard to get these. It'd be hard to get these guys wrong. And subtracting, common denominator. Multiplying, dividing, has to be a pure fraction. So what are some doozies I've seen over the years? One and let's go with 6/5 minus 2/3. All right. I have on a test gotten 4/2, so 2. Because 6 minus 2 is 4, obviously, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So I guess it has to be 2. Well, my question there is, here you have a number that's slightly more than 1, and I'm subtracting from it a number that's almost 1. How do you get 2? Obviously, that is not correct. Because they violate the one and only golden rule of fractions. You need a common denominator. In this case here, 5 and 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So somewhere along the line, they both can be turned into 15s. How do we do that? By multiplying by the number to make them look alike. Of course, you got to remember to do the same thing to the top. Because 3 over 3 is 1, 5 over 5 is 1. We haven't really changed the problem none. So 6/3. 6 times 3 is 18 over 15. 2 times 5 is 10 over 15. And of course, once you get the denominator set, you set it and forget it. I don't subtract. I don't play with the denominators other than to set them the same. So if I started with 15 down here, I'll end with 15. And 18 minus 10 is 8. 8/15. So a little more than a half. Is that right? Half? Yeah. A little more than a half, which makes more sense. And we thought it was a proper fraction. All right, so that's basically doing a adding or subtracting fractions. Same difference. One goes up, one goes down. Uh-oh. I did that both on one page. Multiplying. 5 3/4 times 1 7/8. Well, the answer, and this is what I've seen people say, 5 3/4 times 1 7/8. Well, 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, so 5 times 1 is 5. And then, okay, I multiply the numerators and I multiply the denominators. So 3 times 7 and 4 times 8. So obviously it must be 5 and 21 30 And I'm hoping somebody out there saying, oh, that is so wrong. And you're right. It is wrong. Now, technically, can you multiply mixed numbers? Yes. Okay, but it's a lot more involved than just what I did up there. It's called, do basic FOIL, and let's not do that. No, what we need to do is get the fraction. Make an improper fraction on these guys. And recall how you do that. Well, it's going to be a denominator of 4, because I start with a 4. What we're going to do is multiply those two guys together. 5 times 4. And we're going to turn 5 into 4ths. 5 times 4 is 20. And I'm basically looking here, and if this is all I had, the 4s were canceled, and I have 5. That's why it's 5. And then let's add what we have left, just the existing numerator. So 5 3/4. Times that by 1 times 8. Plus 7, all over 8. So now we convert it from a mixed number, now we have a fraction. I'm sure this is all review. So 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. And 1 times 8 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. I was really hoping for a little bit of reduction there, but it didn't. So 23 times 15. The 20 times 15 is 300. And 300 plus 345. 345 over 32. $23 times 15. 345. I know I was right. Over 32. And of course, this is my math after say reduce to turn into an improper fraction or something. Well, how do we do that? Well, good old-fashioned integer division. How many times 32 and 34 goes in once? How many times 32 and 25? None. All right, so there's our whole number. And the remainder becomes our numerator. And those don't reduce down anymore. So, and the only difference between multiplication and division is one little step. 23 6 divided by 12. 12/5. I'm trying to make things fancy. Is to go and change the multiplication. And we're going to do that by taking the reciprocal of 12/5, which is just the two locations just swapped out, just flip-flopped. So let's begin with 115. 23 times 5, 20 times 5 is 100, 3 times 5 is 15, 100 plus 15. And 6 times 12 is 72, 10 times 6 is 60, 2 times 6 is 12, 60 plus 12 is 72, yeah. And this way you pretty much eyeball like 1. And what's 115 minus 72? 3, 4. Wow, got all these prime numbers all the time. How do I manage that? 2 and 3 is 5, 4 and 7 is 11, yeah. So again, focus yourself both up on adding and subtracting, multiplying, dividing fractions. Not hard, especially if you just keep the golden rules, the two golden rules in mind. Fractions have to have a common denominator. Well, adding, subtracting common denominator, preferably the lowest common denominator. And multiplying, dividing, gotta have them in fractional forms. So if we're given mixed numbers, we gotta turn in an improper fraction. And try to refrain from using the fractional input for TI-30, whatever. All right. The last thing I wanted to highlight and emphasize what cause problems is order of operations. I'm sure most of you have seen, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, mnemonic. Whereas this basically is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, left to right, addition, subtraction, left to right. So what are the common mistakes? What are the mistakes I see typically in order of operation? Believe it or not, it's not recognizing that you got multiply, divide, add, subtract, exponents, and so forth. It's basically when you're given numbers and you're trying to have the dogma of, gee, M before D, so all multiplications before division. A's before S, so I'll always add before I subtract. So if you're given something like that, 4 divided by 4 times 4, and you just use I'm going to use my order of operation. It says parentheses, no parentheses, exponents, no exponents, multiplication. I must multiply first. So by order of operation, it's telling me to multiply first. So 4 divided by, what's 4 times 4? 16. It was first on the list. Gotta do it first. And then divide. 4 divided by 16 is basically a fourth when you reduce it. All right. No. Because this left to right rule is the final hint to help you organize the operations when you're doing a string of multiplication divisions or a string of addition subtraction. Now let's redo this guy using left to right. Left to right. That says, okay, first I will always do multiplication division over addition subtraction. So if there's some adding and subtracting along there, and you have the option of division, you do division first or multiplication first. Okay, this says left to right, 4 over 4 times 4, which is 1 times 4, which is 4. Not a fourth, 4. Which is the correct. And I wrote it this way on purpose. Kind of emphasize what they're saying up there. Now, if this is what they wanted to make you multiply it first, now it's correct. That is that. So that's really what you want. You have to use parentheses to, because parentheses overrides everything. And then parentheses says, do the multiplication, get that done, and then divide. So left to right. In the addition subtraction realm, 5 minus 2 plus plus 4. Why not? All right. Now, again, just using the rule that, hey, addition's first, so I must add first. That's, this guy says, I need to add 2 to the 4. So this guy magically becomes 5 minus 6, or minus 1. All right. The left to right rule. 5 minus 2. Actually, 7. This one's easy to see if you think about it. Using the commutative operations. No, 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. But again, the left to right rule. However, if this is what you want, if this is what you wanted, parentheses. So those are the common mistakes that I usually see in order of operation is the left to right confusion. The left to right rule. Okay. All right, what the heck is that? All right. Okay, so it's question mark. So let's see. I need to do the how this class works, where your chapters, again, how this class works. You email the instructor. Is this? Introduce yourself. Yeah. Oh, got a few people. All righty. Yourself. Definitely get this done. The personal plan for success by Monday. And without that, you won't get access to other learning plans. The assignment. So watch the review. Watch the review video, which is like 14 minutes, and then do the review assignment, which is 20 questions. And hey, I got 100% on it. I know, big deal. I agree. C scores. I didn't 3-1 yet. Interesting. Ooh. I'm betting it to work. Oh, need to get hot. So if they do review homework, and I think that gets us through for, oh yeah, and the video assignment 1. And that we were fine in learning plan. 1. And okay, here we have video assignment 1 due to 26. Update that thing. And that'll be, oh yeah, formula sheet. That's what printing out and having your notebook. So I would highly recommend printing a copy of this out and putting in your notebook. Where that came from. And to get this guy, it will be the very beginning of chapter 3 section. Here we are. So these aren't due until following Wednesday doing the quiz. And that is Wednesday midnight, may I add. But this is due by Monday midnight. But just to reemphasize, this is what's done on a given day. And what's done on a given day goes to what day the work is due on. Okay, this is Wednesday. This is day Wednesday. This is next Monday, which means we'll cover this stuff Monday, and this you do on Wednesday. Wednesday, we'll cover this material, which we do the following Mondays, and so forth, and onward. Like I said, it's going to be a quick semester. It's only 8 weeks. So we only meet twice a day, so twice a week, excuse me. So there's going to be a fair amount of work that needs to be done outside of class, being a blended class. Yeah. So you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, technically Monday. So 5 days to get the first materials done. So do that email instructable one, do the plan of success, do your review of homework, and the video assignment, which is basically video notes. Those are your notes. And there is no video assignment for I wish they would have done that. I think it's just fortunate in this here file. And there is no video notes for this math review. Skim chapter 1 and 2, watch the video, and I did an overview of what I thought were the biggest heartaches that occurs, and then the review assignment. And we'll be off and running. Where did this come from? I have no idea. Gone. Out. Here we go. And chats are empty, so I guess no major questions. If not, we'll have questions on Monday. I think I'm out of time. For the syllabus, we end at 6:50, and guess what? It's 6:50. So some direct questions. Throw in the chat, and I'll try to answer them real quick. Otherwise, we're done for until Monday. Other than doing the work. And the numbers are fading off quick. I guess people are bailing. And I'm fine with that. Oh, wait, I'll spawn forward. Shoots. What's today's date? Today is 21. October 20th. Done. All right. Oh, I should be quarter off.